Hi, and welcome to the Sagebrush Happy Hour Journal entry for the last day of 2024, December 31st, 2024. In my last entry, I talked about the possibility of us getting a hot tub. And so we we were right. We're kind of right on the verge of whether or not that's practical or not. And if you live off grid, you count every single watt. I mean, you account for your energy. You have to basically make sure that you keep the power on, and you're not having to run the generator and your waters, pumps and all that sort of thing. You're your own utility grid. So that's the thing about being off grid. And so I was convinced that this particular hot tub we would be able to handle it power wise. And then I went ahead and I went onto a couple forums and Facebook groups for this particular model of hot tub, which is the AquaQuest AquaRest AR150, it's very energy efficient. But there's a couple of caveats to that. And one of them is that it uses something called friction heat, where it basically just heats the water when the pump's on. And so that means if it needs to heat the water, it runs the 1.5 horsepower pump. And so in these online forums, basically people were experiencing that, people that are on grid, and they were saying, oh yeah, it's only, $35 a month additional electricity use, or $40 electricity use. And so I did kind of the math breakdown to kilowatt hours, and that meant that these people were using 5 to 9 kilowatt hours a day to just run that spa. And so that is in the range that we run our entire household off of. So our battery's capacity is 24 kilowatt hours. And so if we use 10 kilowatt hours a night, we were using basically a third of our batteries, or, a little more than a third of our batteries. So, 10 kilowatt hours would be far beyond our energy budget. And 5 would be basically, we would be using, 20% of our energy a day just to keep the hot tub running. So yesterday I was quite depressed and just basically let down from the idea that I could run this hot tub. And so, there's some other alternatives out there where people that do their DIY ones where they make hot tubs out of stock tanks and they run them off of a propane camp shower heater, or an inline water heater, basically. And I'd looked into that, but the idea of sitting in a stock tank without jets, and it's nice for a hot water soaking solution, but you still have to insulate it and you have to build the thing and so forth and so on. So today I was chatting with somebody on a forum, and they said, well, what I did is I put in an auxiliary propane heater, and so then their energy usage went down to where they were only using maybe a kilowatt hour a day. And so that would be definitely sustainable. And so the way that this works is that you take one of these inline propane heaters and you put a little lower watt recirculating pump on it, like 70 watt recirculating pump. And then you take the water and you recirculate it out of the spa and back into the spa just for the heating. And so the propane would actually heat the water, and then the spa pump, the big pump, would be used for filtration and for running the jets when you're actually in the hot tub. So That was looks like it's a viable solution. It does have the kind of unfortunate byproduct of that we will be burning some fossil fuel. Although propane is cleaner than, say, gasoline, and it's basically kind of like if you were running your grill every day. Basically, most people are getting, they can get, 3 or 4 good heatings from a 5 pound propane tank. So I'm kind of back on track with the idea of getting this hot tub. So we'll see if it actually works out, but in the new year. And so for everybody out there, I'm going to wish you a happy New Year's and cheers.